I wanted to start up here with just a sound. 2 gunshots. I remember I was in an alleyway with 2 of my best friends, Sam and Raw, and we were going down to our favorite restaurant down the street. We were in the heart of Detroit, and I remember after hearing those 2 gunshots, I froze like anybody would. And I remember in those 2 minutes, which to me felt like 12, I really got to analyze my surroundings. Everything was at a standstill. After the ringing in my ears stopped, I came to a weird conclusion. Everything was the same. I mean, the tree across the road was exactly where it was before this. The car parked in front of me was still the same color. Everything was the same. The only thing that changed was us. For most of my life, I grew up in suburban areas, safe neighborhoods. Northern Virginia is where I am right now. Novi was where I was. But I loved going into the city. I really loved the city life. You never really expected violence to enter your life, and the loudest noises you really ever heard was a car passing by or a lawnmower. But you never really expected violence to affect you in your day-to-day life. And what stayed with me wasn't just the ringing in my ears or the moment, but it was really what happened after. See, me and my friends, after the event, after that happened, we didn't go to the restaurant, we doubled back and we went back to my friend's house. And we pretended like nothing had ever happened, right? We ordered pizza, we played FIFA. My friend Sam made fun of my FIFA skills. And it was just a normal day, right? We didn't even open the door to the discussion of saying maybe we should talk about what happened. That door was never even considered, it was never opened, and we kept the situation untalked, right? And silence creeped into our space, into our house, and in between us. That similar feeling of silence followed me somewhere that I didn't really expect. It followed me into my kitchen, right? A couple months later, time had passed, and I remember one day I really wanted some chocolate chip cookies. So I did what everybody does, right? I open my phone, I search up chocolate chip cookie recipe, and I pick the first one that pops up. And it seems easy enough, right? You have flour, butter, milk, sugar, chocolate chips, and I grabbed everything that I needed. But I was looking at my fridge and one ingredient was missing: eggs. Eggs are not optional for cookies, right? But in my mind, I thought I could overcompensate and just add a little bit of extra stuff to kind of overcompensate, right? So that's exactly what I did. I went to my counter, I added a little bit extra butter, splash touch of milk, and I started mixing. And the consistency seemed right? There was chocolate chips in the batter, that's a good sign. And everything was okay. So the consistency was fine. And I wanted my chocolate chip cookies done a little bit faster, so I turned up the temperature on the oven, I decreased the time I had to wait, and I popped my cookies into the oven. A few minutes had passed, and I get a whiff of smoke. I was in the house by myself, and if you're in the house by yourself and you smell smoke, it's probably your fault. So I had to run back to the kitchen, right? And I just saw the oven overflowing with smoke. It was terrible. So without thinking, I closed the oven, I opened the oven, and I took out the tray with my bare hands, without thinking. And I dropped the cookies everywhere. And I remember looking at my bright red, swollen hands, and the burnt, undercooked cookies on my floor. I don't know how I managed to do that, but they were burnt and undercooked. And I remember thinking to myself, how I let myself get to this point without stopping once, right? I didn't stop once and consider if I was doing anything correct. And there is a lesson in this besides, Omar, you should have bought an oven mitt, right? You should have probably looked for one. The reason I draw these 2 parallels is because in that alleyway on our way to the restaurant, we saw something scary and we didn't talk about it. In the kitchen, I followed a recipe without understanding it. But in both situations, I kept going, right? And it's not because I was arrogant or because I was careless, but it's because nobody had shown me how to stop, okay? And so I realized from this that living life is not just enclosed, right? You're not enclosed when you're living life. You're living life in the midst of people, and you're learning from those people, right? And those people shape who you become, and they inspire you without you even realizing it. This is where my friend Sam comes in. I wanted to let you guys know what my friend Sam, the same one that was with me in the alleyway, did at a talent show. At the talent show, Sam sung. And that's not the main thing, right? The main thing here is that he had terrible stage fright, but he didn't wake up one day fearless. He didn't wake up one day and said, I can sing. But instead, it was demonstrated to him by one of our other friends who sung at a separate talent show. And he got inspired to do the same. I had terrible stage fright, and watching Sam face his fears and get up on stage is the reason I'm here today. And so you'd never really see, or you don't even realize that you're being shaped by the people around you until it happens. So if there's one thing that you should take from my talk, it's this. People are watching how you move through adversity, how you move through struggle, without you even realizing it, right? So make sure what they learn is the good parts about you. And make sure the people that you keep around yourself are people who you would aspire to be like. This way we shape our future generations while making ourselves better. So the main point here is, if people are learning from you anyway, which they are, make sure what they learn is this. You're not stuck where you are. There's more ahead. You just need to stop and gather yourself before continuing on the path that's in front of you. Thank you.